pleasure that I present this service award certificate in recognition of your 36.5 years of service to the government of the United States. I'm also pleased to recognize your contribution to the success of the Postal Service by your sick leave conservation. As a valued member of our postal team, you have become a part of the proud tradition of the service of the people of this nation that began over 200 years ago. On behalf of your fellow employees, I want to express our thanks and appreciation to your many contributions to the United States Postal Service. May you and yours enjoy an abundance of happiness and the best of health in the years ahead. Judy Godspeed. And I did take this out. So we have another little award that depicts your dedication.
Wow. Appreciation for your dedication and support. Give it up on District United States Postal Service. That was beautiful. Oh, I thought you were saying raise it up higher.
I was taking the accolades.
At this time, we have some guests who have made a long trip to see Joe.
I saw some little strangers in the back.
Ron Benjamin is from headquarters, finance, and he's come down to see Joe.
Good morning, everybody. It's pleased to be able to attend, and this is a pretty important day for us. Wishing Joe good travels in his retirement. And for those nobody knows me. Joe knows me, Tony. My name is Ron Langevin. I'm the manager of Finance Business Solutions. Basically, that means I have to explain this to my mother all the time. What can you do again? But I try to be careful not to let anybody know that, because then there's expectations placed on it. Essentially, I'm in charge of all the financial systems in the Postal Service on the finance side. So everything that we use for management reporting and things like that. That's a little bit about who I am. I did want to say a few things, to Joe and about Joe. Mostly about Joe. So, wow, Joe Schultz has left the building. What are we going to do now? I've known Joe personally for a long time. In fact, I knew Joe before Joe knew that I knew Joe. And anybody that's kind of worked with his training and stuff kind of knows how that goes. But Joe was the focus guy. We were both budget guys at the same time. And over the years, whenever anybody came to me to say, what can I do? I need some career counseling. What can I do? And I always told them, what you need to do is you need to learn to focus. Because the people that can understand our data systems and have the imagination to get information out of it and turn things into actionable information, that, my friends, is the key to the treasure house. And that's what Joe, helped provide all these years. So I always said, you got to learn focus. I learned my focus from Joe. More accurately, I learned focus from Joe's various newsletters and reports that were cribbed from Joe's ID. But there's back in the 80s when we were first getting into that, there's kind of a small community of people that got information and kind of by hook and by crook, and Joe was kind of responsible for training the Bob Kings of the world. A lot of the folks at headquarters, when I said, geez, I'm going down to Joe Schultz's retirement, I talked to Jean Parrish yesterday. She's in charge of the 3 accounting service centers. And she goes, I know, Joe. We worked together. We were on detail together back in the southern region back in, when was it, 1986 or something like that? And so Jean Parrish says hi. So anyway, Joe's fingerprints are on everything, and the impact he has had on the Postal Service, on how the Postal Service does financial analysis, is incalculable. Although I'm sure if you gave the problem to Joe, he'd have a spreadsheet with lookups and goal seeks and all manner of higher math, and he'd calculate it out to the 16th decimal point, which of course are the limits of the precision in Excel, which is probably another thing that Joe taught me. Joe taught a lot of people a lot of things. As I mentioned, he influenced Michael McCrane and Tyson Stevenson, who I was fortunate to be able to grab both of. Yesterday I was looking at a copy of Joe's Oklahoma District Finance newsletter, which I was pleased to see that your website has those, the archive copies of that going way back. And I was looking at it, you know, and of course Joe has indexed them all, so I looked and I saw, well, here's one that has ADM training on it back in May of 2004. And, you know, it was kind of how to get into the newfangled ADM reporting system and how to get training. But also in that newsletter, Joe kind of expressed his philosophy on learning new technology when he said, don't wait for training, start learning. All of Microsoft programs provided by your computer have help sections. You can search for topics, take a guided tour, receive step-by-step instructions for most of the features included in the programs. Click the help menu option or press F1 in any application. Most people would have left it at that. Joe continued on with, find out who your nearby gurus are and take advantage of their knowledge. It could be someone in the next cubicle or in the next town, but there's always somebody only a phone call away who can help. That sounds like Joe, doesn't it? I could go on all day, but actually have an official thing to take care of here. I'm here representing Vince DeVito, the Vice President of Finance and Controller. And in 2001, we implemented a Controller's Lifetime Achievement Award. And that was created to recognize finance employees that have substantial and lasting impacts across the entire organization. And being on the committee and having been there for a long time, we use a pretty simple screening process. And what we do is people will make recommendations every year for nominees, and kind of what we use to weigh the nominees against are, if we had a national finance meeting and everybody was there, and we announced this person as a winner, would most of the people there say, yeah, you did the right thing? You know, and in Joe's case, we were convinced that was indeed the case. So today I'm pleased to present Joe, recognize Joe as the 24th recipient of this prestigious award. It is symbolized by these lovely crystal bookends.
They are lovely.
And it's the other one has the postal eagle on it, but this says Controller Lifetime Achievement Award, Joseph D. Scholes, Lifetime Achievement Award. Everybody in finance wants one of those, even if you don't know they exist. Because, much like winning the Nobel Peace Prize, it comes with a nice check, which was issued while Joe was still a postal employee. It's not quite like the Nobel Peace Prize, but it's significant by our standards. And there are, as I mentioned, there are 24 recipients now of the Controller Lifetime Achievement Awards. It's actually kind of unusual, but we have two of them in the room today. Tony Morrow was similarly recognized a few months back. But anyway, Joe, if you could come forward, I have a couple of things to hand you. One is this. Congratulations.
Outstanding.
Congratulations.